Yep. So this is going to be a video on a really special event which I am going to be interested in the future. It's called 1 hour cards. So for those of you who are from cubing background, and since this video would be uploaded on Cubelang, which is dedicated to cubing, this is a memory sport world championship going on. It was 7 years back. It was in Indonesia, very successful, and this is the only footage that I found on the internet which covers this event. It's like MBLD, which is multi-blind and cubing, where you have 1 hour to memorize and execute as well. But whereas in this case you have a complete hour to memorize pack of cards. So pack of cards, everyone knows there are 52 cards, like 30 races, 13 spades, 13 hearts, 13 diamonds, and they have 52 factorial combinations, which is way more than 43 quintillion of a Rubik's cube. But it's quite a straightforward process, because in multi-blind or 3-blind in general, there is the memorization varies cube to cube, as there are solved pieces, flipped edges, and so on. And also there is algorithms that we have to execute in order to retrieve what we have memorized. This is a fairly just pure memory based sport. As you can see, a lot of competitors have chosen the pack of cards that they want to do, so they are just arranging it, and this is quite a bit of let's say clumsy kind of an effort. It takes a lot of time to coordinate. So you can see, just almost 30 minutes before the start of the event, people have to just bring the pack of cards, take out the pack of cards, each pack of cards, which is shuffled to a specific order by the delegates there, or the officials, arbiters there, and this packet is brought in a plastic bag, and they are kept on each table. And then the process, which takes about 5 minutes, is where you have to take out the pack of cards from the box. You have to keep the boxes aside, and then the pack of cards, you can facing down, you have to keep them, and then you have to just get started. So people have chosen a lot of pack of cards for memorization, and I think the world record is way high. It's like 60. I'm not sure about 60, but around 40 plus 60 plus pack of cards, which is way more. If you consider just a normal 3x3, there are around 10 letter pairs, which is about 2-4 numbers worth of information, whereas a pack of cards, people generally memorize 2 cards as a single image, which will make 26 image or 26 letter pairs, or 2.6 Rubik's cube worth of information per card. So a person who is attempting 60 pack of cards would be doing basically around 120 to around 160-ish 160-ish cube memorization. So the technique that most of the people use is similar. It's the memory palace or method of loci. Memory sports is heavily dominated by people from all over the world, but especially from India, Mongolia, and there are some veterans from Germany, like Jonathan Mallow and a few others. And the current champion in this overall event was Alex Mullen, who is on the front row. And then here we have the Mongolian star, who is also really great with names and faces and other events. So there are about 12 or 13 events, and this is one of the most grueling events. It's like the marathon of this world championship, and it's generally kept at the last. So the format goes like, you have 1 hour to memorize as many pack of cards as you choose, and then what you have to do is you have 2 hours to write down the order. So you write down the order on a piece of paper. You have to take, I guess, the order on A4 sheets as per the number of pack of cards that you have memorized. the way this thing is coordinated is there are a lot of arbiters going around, so there is not a single judge for a single person, but there are a lot of arbiters during the memorization phase. There's no paper needed as such, it's just the cards placed face down. Some people have a various ways of like starting the memorization or doing the memorization phase. Some people like to place it on the box, the pack of cards on the box, so that the cards don't get mixed up. So the worst case that you want, which doesn't happen in MBLD, is few cards from one deck mess with the few cards of the other deck. So I guess some people, what they are doing, if you observe closely, is they have a face down color of red and black, and they have alternated that as per their arrangement on the table. So the pack of cards are arranged alternatively with different colors, so that the color of deck A doesn't mix with the color of deck B. And by the color I mean the face down, the side which does not give any information about the order of the cards. So yeah, this is a very complex event. I have been familiar with memory sports for 10 years, and it took me 10 years to find out how exactly this event is. So the only way you get to know this event is you participate in a memory championship. Recently I went to the World Memory Championship, which happened in Mumbai, and it was not spectator friendly, especially this event. I couldn't see it as we were around inside this pin drop silence for an hour, and there's 2 hours of recall. Most of the people do not use the entire 2 hours. So this entire event runs for around 3 hours. You can see at the top left the total time that people have to memorize is 1 hour and 1 minute. So they gave about a minute to prepare, and yeah, this video is spread 3x because I don't want you guys to just watch people struggling and just trying to get things into their head for an hour. I won't be showing the memorization phase. I will be showing the memorization phase, but I won't call it execution, but recall phase, where you write it on the paper. But the memorization phase is something very interesting. Here there is a coordinator. All the competitors start at the same time. Before the attempts, people just clear their heads. If they have doubts, they ask. Stay hydrated, because it's quite similar to a marathon in Olympics, where your endurance is tested. Here is Alex Mullen with a lot of cards. You can see alternating decks, black, red, so that the decks don't get mixed up. And yeah, we will be starting. A lot of people wear earmuffs, and then they put a A4 sheet over the earmuffs, which makes it easier for them to focus. And personally, I feel MBLD to be more tidier event compared to 1 hour cards, because first of all, cubes don't get spread out like cards, and also it's easier to do. Let's say I do 5 pass memo on MBLD, it's easier to do that compared to 5 pass on a pack of cards, because each time you have to lift up the card, and there's a chance you might be something equivalent of making a turn on a Rubik's cube, which is you drop a card and then you are not sure of what happens. So yeah, we are started. So we have started. You can see a few Rubik's cubes somewhere. There are 2 or 3 people who are having Rubik's cubes on their desk, but basically it's just a lot of water, and people have started. So generally speed cards, which is a really interesting event in memory. Speed cards generally take about 20 seconds at the top level, and amateur people around who participate here, let's say the average of this hall to do speed cards is around 1 minute memorization. So we expect around 1 minute to be a single pass for each competitor, and the people who do speed cards in 20 seconds also do it a bit slower, I guess, around in 40 seconds, because in speed cards what we try to do is flash it into the short term whereas this event is mainly about the long term, and it definitely takes more time and effort, or different creative pursuit to go make things go into the long term memory. Also, most of the we have Nelson Dellis and German top cubers Richard, Simon Reinhardt, and Christopher. So you can see a lot of pack of cards are chosen by the Mongolian girl, and we can see the speed at which they are trying to memorize. So this is very similar to the first pass of MBLD. If you see the top MBLDers like Graham Simmons or Ro Hessler, they generally do the first pass in about 10 seconds per cube, or even lesser. I've seen Ro do it in 8 seconds per cube as the first pass. So it's insane. So this is 52 cards, 26 images. So 26 images, if they do it at 1 second per image, will be 26 seconds per pass. And I guess they would be doing 5 to 6 passes. Definitely the last pack of cards would be I don't think it would be fully short term. It still would be in long term, but yeah, we would definitely be seeing a lot of long term memorization. Some people like to go slower on pack of cards, but you can see Alex Muller at the front, who is very fast. This is like bit of a difficult event to practice if you're lazy. Like speed cards, it's easy. You get the job done in about 20 seconds plus 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes to recall, and let's say if you're a top memory athlete, then 20 seconds to memorize. So it's just 5 minutes 20 seconds of effort, but this is an entire 3 hours of effort. And I guess the memorization is easier compared to the recall, definitely, but the memorization is something where you really need undivided focus. Otherwise you can easily screw up. So what do I mean by screw up is sometimes you get fatigue, or in MPLD people generally quit when they are not able to focus, think about the information that's being presented to them in front of themselves, and so on. So this is the hall. I guess 100 people doing it at once. The memorization phase is it's a bit let's say it's chaotic on each table and overall as well. What we see is cards are like people have to make sure that they first of all know which deck they are memorizing, and also see all the cards start to end. So there are 52 cards. So it's a let's say it's a little bit of exertion to do this activity, but yeah, definitely people train a lot. And let's take an example of MBLD in cubing. Like Shivam Bansal himself did around 350 attempts before he got the world record, and let's say Graham Siggins has done 600 MBLD attempts. So it shows the volume of how much practice they have to put. Let's say each MBLD attempt, even though it takes 1 hour to do memorization and execution as well, each MBLD attempt takes about 3 hours of time, 1 hour of focus time, and 2 more hours of preparation. You meditate, before the attempt, and you analyze a lot after the attempt. If you record the video and if you decide to look for splits and so on. So similarly, these people are competing. So it's just 3 hours of effort, 1 hour memorization, 2 hour recall. But definitely they it takes a lot more than 3 hours for them to just get into the activity and get out of the activity. So this is how I would like to put it. So yeah, we are right now halfway into this video, and yeah, I have basically covered the initial introduction part of what I wanted to say, and now I would be just adding some comments about some observations we see of people adopting different styles and so on. So one thing which I think is mandatory to conduct such an event is you need big tables. That's a mandatory, and that's true for MBLD as well. Also, something that people have is fixed chairs, but if there is moving office chairs, that is even better. So yeah, 20 minutes of memorization have been done. If you can see, most people have done, I guess, first pass of about 6 to 8, or maybe let's say 10 pack of cards. So in 20 minutes they have done around first pass of 10 pack of cards, and I'm not sure if they do 5 pass, which is one thing to do in Rubik's Cube MBLD, but maybe 3 or 4 pass is enough. But yeah, we have Alex Mullen. He's really into his rhythm while he's memorizing. Jonathan Mallow is handicapped, but he is the veteran. He is really good in the memory sports. Also, he is really good in outreach. He does a lot of Twitch streaming where he shows some knockout battles between top memory athletes through the online portal that has been created by XMA or something, the Memory Association. Yeah. So yeah, Mongolia dominates a lot in memory because they have heavily invested. Most of the schools there have programs to teach kids how to memorize, which is a really good thing. Alex Mullen is, we have zoomed into a Rubik's Cube which is standing on a base. So that's a nice thing. There is a Rubik's Cube. I'm not sure, I'm definitely sure none of these people practice MBLD. Some people do know 3BLD. If you see Nelson Dennis, who's on the right second row, he does 3BLD in about 5 minutes, or even lesser, which is quite nice. He has interacted with the speed cubing community, but most of the people are, even though the techniques that they use are very similar to BLD events in cubing, they do not interact much, as it's a very small close-knit community. So yeah, I guess they are near the halfway stage of memorization. It takes a lot of effort just to keep the momentum going, because you have one pack of cards and the next one, so you need smooth transition between the locations in your head that you have predefined. And yeah, so this is it about memory sports. I do not want to add much to what I have already said, and I guess you guys should be seeing this video closely. I do not want to put in more observations so that you guys just observe the thing that I'm speaking about, but just take this video as an example of an alternate reality to speed cubing, where people do something similar to MBLD, which is called 1 hour cards. I would definitely want to do this event soon, but my main focus is on getting 100 points in MBLD, which is highly unrealistic because I give no time to cubing at all, but I do want to do it. Yeah, so this is it. Simon Reinhardt, Alex Mullen, all the top seeds in front, memorizing, and it's a really active phase. If you see, there's a lot of head nodding and so on. We have the arbiter maybe saying the half time has passed, so it's quite an active phase. Most of the people are wearing earmuffs as well because it's an open hall and there can be background noise echoed around, which can definitely hinder the concentration, and it is daunting to see. Even if I'm very comfortable with MBLD of let's say 35 cubes or 30 cubes, seeing this many pack of cards being memorized is quite daunting. But I understand it's a little bit easier task than 3x3 MBLD because, as we said, we do not have to execute anything, and the memorization sequence is fixed. It's always 52 cards, whereas in a 3x3 it can be 50. Let's give an analogy. It can be 51 cards, it can be 45 cards, it can be 56 cards. It depends on the number of 3 style commutators that you have to do. So it varies a bit. There's parity and no parity as well. There's LTCD, for which you need specific images, and what Graham has been doing is full floating letter pairs, which again is another chunk of memorization you have to do. But yeah, these people are well sorted in their memorization technique. Just a lot of locations and the journey that they have to do through these locations to encode the memory. Yeah, one thing that I completely missed out is how this event is evaluated. After 2 hours of recall, the number of cards memorized is tallied by the number of decks you have memorized. So if let's say you are memorizing 10 decks and you memorize 9 decks perfectly, and the last deck you memorize 26 cards correctly and the 27th card is incorrect, then I guess your score is 52 into 9 plus 26. So that's what I think is the scoring system. And on these events there is sum of ranks as well, and this event counts a lot towards the sum of ranks, because there's some kind of point system for each event, because each event is scored in a different metric. Like names and faces is number of names and faces, binary digits is number of binary digits, this is number of pack of cards, but number of cards you do take you get it incorrect, and so on. So yeah, this is how this event is evaluated. And yeah, I'll conclude speaking about this event and would let you guys enjoy how cool this event is. And I definitely hope a lot of MP elders in the cubing community try out this event. It's good. I know a few cubers who have memorized the pack of cards. Masco has done it, the guy who had 41 points immediately, and I guess he was around 5 minutes with a pack of cards. And Shivam Bansal has done it, he is around 8 minutes. Stanley has done it, he is around 8, I'm not sure, but few minutes to memorize a pack of cards. But this is a whole different event, as we say. This is not 3PLD, this is NBLD. So this is something which requires a bit more dedication than just speed cards. But yeah, it's an interesting event. It's conducted, I guess, only a few times a year, mostly in World Memory Championship, Asian Memory Championship, and so on. There are also some online events for memory. I do not think they are conducted in the online events. It's mostly in the offline. It's quite intensive, but the good part about this is pack of cards are quite light. So if you want to fly to another country to attend World Championships and you are, let's say, memorizing 50 pack of cards, it's just few kgs extra you have to get. But if you take the example of Graham Siggins, who had to travel to South Korea with 70 Rubik's cubes, that was quite a bigger hassle. Yeah, so we have 16 minutes more to go in memorization. So people have completed almost 45 minutes, which means they must have done the first pass of all the cards and they are on to the second pass. You can see people not looking at the cards, which means they are trying to just consolidate the memory, just get things more right. It's definitely the second pass going on at many places. But yeah, it's a messy process. It's a very brain intensive process. It's fun to watch, maybe fun to compete in if you are good with speed cards. One guess I would like to take is, let's say a person does speed cards in 5 minutes, then in 1 hour they can do 5 into like 1 hour is 60 minutes, so 60 divided by 5, you can do 12 pack of cards. So I guess that's possible, even though it's just you'll do one pass of 12 pack of cards. Since you have 2 hours to recall, one pass is good enough. Maybe 2 passes is better, but 1 pass is good enough. Yeah, so yeah, this ends my voiceover. Enjoy the video. Interesting final 10 minutes. You guys should observe. Yeah, see you, bye.